Welcome to the Mommy Collective. I'm Paulina Rowe, radio host, TV contributor, writer, and mom of one. This is where ambitious moms come to keep their identity intact while navigating motherhood. Here we talk about the real stuff: career, money, relationships, identity, and everything that gets messy in between. You won't find sugarcoating or cliches. What you will find are unfiltered conversations, real resources, and proof that you don't have to lose yourself to be a good mom. The Mommy Collective is here to remind you can be ambitious, you can take up space, and you can thrive in motherhood and in everything else that makes you, you. Before we get into the episode, make sure you're following the Mommy Collective on Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram, and share this podcast with a mommy in your life who needs a little inspiration or just a reminder that she's killing it. Also, don't forget to sign up for our newsletter and leave us a review so we can keep showing up and reach every ambitious mom out there doing big things. Let's get into it. It's the Mommy Collective 103. Oh my God, I almost said my station at work. I'm like programmed with my radio station right now because I just got home from work a little bit ago, but it's not the radio station. This is the Mommy Collective podcast. Paulina is here and I'm back with another episode, and I'm so excited for my guest today. I have Diana Arango, the founder and CEO of Chef Post. How are you?
How are you? Thank you so much for having me. So happy to be here.
Thank you for being here. I'm so excited to connect. I'm in Chicago. You're in Miami. I'm jealous of you right now, but it's okay. I'm going to let this ride. It's all good. Your weather is so much better than mine, but it's all good.
I'm sure it's cold now, but it's still, I cannot complain.
I know. You guys are so funny. It'll be like 65 degrees and you guys are like, oh, it's freezing. I can't handle this. I'm like, 65 degrees for me? Like, we're outside in shorts and bikinis. Like,
I know, this is what I don't say. I just say it's cold, but I'm not going to complain because I know what your guys are having.
Oh, that's so sweet of you. No, so true, so true. So, Diana, thank you for being here with us today. I'm so excited to have you on the podcast. You do embody like the Mommy Collective mission in so many ways. Mom first, founder always. And I love the work that you're doing with Chef Post, which I definitely want to dive into as well. But before we do dive into your story of Chef Post, I kind of want to get to know Diana, a little bit about you and your background.
Yes, of course. So I'm the mom of two boys, the loves of my life, as I always say. One is 10 years old and the other one is 7 years old. I'm from Colombia, originally born and raised. And I moved to the US to do my master's degree. Originally, I'm a lawyer, so I went to law school in Colombia, and then I moved to New York to do my master's degree in business law. And then I met my husband in New York, and plans changed, and I stayed. And that's that's the story. And after that, I was working. I've always been like an entrepreneur in Colombia. I built businesses. In New York, I was advising small businesses in the consulate, and that's my jam. I love businesses and entrepreneurship and all of that, and that's basically the very general idea where I come from and what I do.
Oh, I love it. That's such a cool story. I love it. So you're from Colombia, and then you kind of just made your way here, right? New York City, you said?
Yes, New York City.
That is so cool. And now we're in Miami.
Now in Miami. So when I got pregnant with my first one, with Samu, that was 10 years ago, we came to Miami to visit my mom. She lives here. And I said, I'm obsessed with New York. It's my favorite city in the world. And so I never imagined myself living in Miami until I was pregnant. And then you change your eyes, your chip, everything when you become a mom. And I started seeing like, oh my God, this is so nice for families. And then we found a way to move here, and here we are.
I love it. Oh, I love your story. It's so cool. So you are obviously founder and CEO of Chef Post as well. And can you kind of tell the audience what is Chef Post? And it came from a personal need, it sounds like, right? So yes. How did you sort of decide that exact, like, I can't do this anymore moment that sort of build you to push to build that?
Yes. So Chef Post is a platform where people can book different cooking services at home, like chefs, home cooks that come to your home and prepare the meals for the week or for a special gathering, a brunch, a birthday, etc. Everything in the comfort of your home. Wow. So how I started this was after I had my second boy. he was like 1 year old or something. I was working with the other boy. Also, he was 4. And I was coming home every single day after work, so excited to see them. But then they were like, listen, I'm hungry. I want to do this. And I know how to cook. I like to cook. But doing this every single day was literally making me crazy. So I was looking for a chef post for myself. I said, like, listen, there has to be a way that we can just book or hire a chef, a home cook that prepares the meals for the week or for a couple of days. I just need some break of these because I care about my family. I want them to have real food, homemade. And I mean, nothing wrong with the nuggets, but you cannot eat nuggets every single day or frozen food every single day.
No.
So I said, listen, there has to be a better way. And I was searching and looking for this solution that didn't exist. I said, like, come on, this has to exist. And at that time, other moms in school, in soccer, they were all the time like complaining, oh my God, if I just had someone that could cook for me and my family. And I was, oh my God, so let's build this. And on top of that, I love hosting. So I'm the type of person that I'm hosting all the time with my friends, family. There's always someone in the family or in your friends group is the one that hosts everything. Well, that's me.
Yep.
So I was like, this is so tiring for me to prepare everything. If these chefs can also prepare different menus, that doesn't have to be super extra and fancy and elevated. I just need lunch, brunch, barbecue, so I can enjoy the party. So everything kind of, all the puzzle came together, and this is why we decided to create this platform where people can really book on demand whatever service they need in their home whenever they need. So our mission is to make people's lives easier and better, especially moms.
Yes. And I love it. Until I can clone myself, I think this is a great solution. This really does help that problem, right? Because like, I'm sure with you too, you have 2 kids. I have 1, and my kid's still a baby, but like between homework and the soccer practice, and then, I mean, you still matter. So whatever you have going on, whether it's work or getting your exercise in for the day, whatever it is that you got going on, your appointments, dentist, hair, whatever, it's like the day just literally goes by, and then it's 6:00 and you're standing in the kitchen looking in the fridge and being like, nah, I guess we are going to order out, or we are going to do frozen nuggets.
Yes.
That's how the days always end, you know? So this is like kind of a smart solution in many ways, but I love that it sort of can help you prepare for the week. It doesn't have to be like every day. I mean, this is like the week is ready.
The week is ready. And it's very personalized because in today's world, every family eats different. We all have different dietary restrictions. The kids have their own, picky situation. So it's the best solution for families and busy parents that need that extra hand in the kitchen.
Absolutely. Before Chef Post existed, and you don't have to like give specific like names or nothing like that, but like, what did you try before Chef Post, and like, why didn't it work necessarily for you? If you did even try something before then.
Try like working or as a solution for myself?
More like a system. Like, did you use like another kind of service, or like a meal prep? Like, have you tried anything or no?
No. So my husband did try some meal. I'm super into homemade and natural things.
Yeah.
So my husband was the one who tried some meal delivery companies, but of course he didn't like, and all the same issue that happens with many of the listeners probably, and you, and it's not like the best solution in terms of quality and taste.
That's
so
true.
He did try that. I myself, I was just cooking and sweating it off. Yes, we did have at that time a nanny that was helping us, but it was mostly with the kids and organizing and the cleaning and all of that. And when I was desperate, I was like, can you please prepare something for at least the kids? Need to prepare anything for me, but just the kids, that we need to get them. That's the thing, that sometimes as parents, not healthy, but we can skip meals. We can whatever, but the kids, they need to eat no matter what. We're not going to starve them or give them protein bars or smoothies. So that was kind of the solution that I had, but it was really me, the one doing everything. And again, delegation is the magic of happiness.
I love delegating as a mom so much. Delegation is my best friend right now. It really is. Because the little things that I don't need to worry about, they will not be in my brain. Like my brain's like, have you ever seen like the little monkey with the 2 symbols? Like that's
Yes.
my brain all the time. I'm like always going and thinking, and it's like a little squirrels running in there. But it's just there's always something in my brain.
Yeah.
So I'm a delegating queen. So I love that.
That's,
I,
I always say that's the secret of a happy marriage, of a happy mom, of
Mhm.
a happy. That's the other thing, because that when you are so overwhelmed as a mom that we do so many things,
Yeah.
your mood start changing because you are it become reactive, explosive. It's like don't ask me something. Blah, blah, blah. So goes beyond the food. Literally, it's like peace of mind, and delegation in any sense is that.
100%. I love it. So, question, what makes chef posts different from like hiring a private chef, kind of like the old school way that you might have heard of, or just like what makes it different in general when it comes to that? You mentioned hosting, you can have somebody come
Yes.
and handle it.
So there are many things, but in general, we do have, it's a very personalized service. So
Hmm.
we do have a concierge or a system where people can say, listen, I want this way, my kids eat like this, my husband is, and then we give them like a whole meal plan where they can pick and choose, and then we match them with the best chef that is for this family. At the same time, all of our chefs are vetted, super trained, and skilled to do the services as we know the customers or the families want. So we are very customer driven. It's a platform that is basically created by the customers themselves. So all the time, and for events as well, for example, nowadays in today's world, people know what they want. They just need
Yeah.
the help to execute that. So we understand very, very well our customers. So we have that system where they can decide, listen, this is the, for example, for the barbecue on Sunday, this is the menu exactly that I want. I just need someone that knows how to do it. So that's where we come in, and we have all the kind of expertise, and we have a concierge that help them with absolutely everything. So again, that mission or statement that making people's lives easier and better, we really take it seriously, and we really make sure that everything is kind of delegated to us when it comes to that any type of at home culinary service.
Mhm. And what do you think a first time client can do to prep for the experience so that it feels like super smooth, no awkward moments, like it just goes, effortlessly? What can we do if I'm using it for the first time?
It depends on the service. So typically you will receive like an email depending on the service that you're having. Listen, this is what you need to prepare. In general, to have the kitchen ready, meaning like clear countertop, clear kitchen. So there's a space for the chef to work and prepare everything, because everything is prepared from scratch. So he needs to have the space for that. But that's basically it. If you can give some guidance to the chef in terms, let's say, for example, my kids, they don't eat spicy food,
Hmm.
and you just want to make sure that all those very details are mentioned to the chef, either when you book or when the chef is there. And that's basically it, because the chefs do everything else from the cooking, prepping, and cleaning up. So the kitchen will be also left all perfect for you. So you just come and enjoy.
I love it. I love it. I kind of want to dive into your mom life a little bit as
Yes.
well. And you are very vocal, and you do say, even in your bio on Instagram, you say mom first. And I love that. So what does that look like though in practice when you're also running this company, right? Like we're wearing all the hats, we're doing a lot of things.
Yes.
What does that look like when you say mom first and running a business?
Yes. Well, I'm literally mom first. That was my dream when I was little, to be a mom. I did have ambitions and all of that. I'm a very ambitious woman, but I'm very obsessed about motherhood and
Yes.
about my kids. But that also I learned with the years, of course, but with practice, that it's very important for the kids not to be the whole universe of your life. So
Hmm.
when they see that the mom also has a different interest, not even they see that I work out, that I see friends, that I have a life, that Chef Post, of course, is my life, but that they are integrated into my universe, you see?
Yeah.
So that way it's not like I'm fighting, or the kids are one thing and work. It's part of my life. I cannot just separate myself. I'm not a mom, I'm just a CEO, or the opposite. And this is basically what I mean, that mom first. Yes, always I'm gonna be that, but I'm always the founder of Chef Post or the CEO, etc. Or if I'm in a different job or whatnot, doing other things, and to integrate that and to be like to give grace to yourself as a mom,
Yeah.
and understand that it's okay that sometimes you have to run to school to pick up your kid because he's sick, or sometimes you have to, which is many times in my case, work on the weekends. So it's just that sometimes we have so many rules and limiting beliefs that what we should do or what not do, or do at certain times, or no, if you are a mom, you cannot work on the weekends, or if you are a CEO, you have to be all the time connected and you cannot see your kids. So those are just things or expectations that are not real. At the end of the day, you have to, every life, every mom is so different, and you have to work with what goes well with you. So that's basically my whole thing about how, but I do, you have to be organized. Time blocking is everything for me, but sometimes life throws you things that you cannot control, and you have to just to adapt. And that flexibility in your mind helps you a lot to live in peace, because when you try to control absolutely everything, when things go in another direction and you cannot control, well, you're gonna freak out.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that's
100% agree. And like you said too, it's like life is going to throw things at you. You just said, like, my kid gets sick at school. That's going to happen. Like, these moments are going to happen. Maybe, I'm sure you experienced this too. Like, you planned your whole day with like meetings and this, and I'm going to do content, whatever.
yes.
And then something happens with the kids. And you're like, all right, we're not going anywhere. Like
Yes.
it happens, and that's okay. I love the flexibility in your mind part too.
Because that's the thing, when you are like, oh my God, now I have to go. Like, yes, I mean, it is what it is. Just be resourceful and try to solve and move on, because it's not the kid's fault that he got sick.
100%. Oh, I love that. Be resourceful, move on. That's very true. I'm a big advocate of that. Like, I think my husband's like a little bit different. Like, it ruins his day. And I mean, not like that, but like if something happens, right? And I'm just like, okay, like next thing, let's pick this up. Like, how are we going to reroute this, whatever this is?
Yes.
Everybody regroup. Let's go. Like, that's just how I am.
Exactly.
We make it work. I love it. We kind of talked about this, but what is the ROI, the return of investment, when it comes to like delegating meals? So like, we're talking the mental load, which is like, when it comes to cooking, I've learned this as somebody who's cooking. I've never really cooked before marriage, to be honest. I would just eat like string cheese and be like, that's my dinner. I just didn't care. I didn't have to feed a man or a baby. I didn't really have to cook much. But before then, it's, when I think about it, it is mental load, marriage, partnership, right? Who's cooking? Who's going to be responsible for this? Presence with my daughter. If I'm cooking like a really intense meal, sometimes like I can't be with her or pay attention. I feel rude. She's behind me, pulling on me, and I'm just cooking whatever, some steak and potato, like whatever. And I'm just like, oh, like this is a lot. So for you, in your opinion, what is the ROI when it comes to delegating meals?
Oof, so many things. So I'm going to give you just the example. This week, for example, in my case, my husband was traveling and I had to work, the two kids, one in soccer, one in tennis, chef post, meetings, okay, you name it, everything I had to do. And I said, listen, I need to book. There is no way I'm going to do this week without a chef this week. So I booked a chef for what we call a mini session, because I had some leftovers from the weekend. So I said, I'm going to book the chef for Wednesday. That is the middle of the week, that for sure I'm not going to have anything to feed this family. And it was everything, because one kid got sick, so he came early, that I had to pick him up in school, and so he had to have lunch at home for 2 days, Thursday and Friday. And imagine in the middle of the day, how I'm gonna cook lunch for the kid? Impossible. He was doing his own things, homeworks, sleeping, watching things, playing while I was at work. But I could not just stop and start cooking. So I basically had the food. I just warmed what he wanted, and he had his lunch. Same at dinner. I was running from soccer, from work, to prepare things. So is first of all the mental load. And sometimes it has happened that I don't have the time to, well, before Chef Post, I didn't have the time to cook, and I was ordering out because there was no option. And it became, I have to do that comparison in social media at some point. What we spent on a week eating out was, I would say, double, of what we would spend by booking a chef, and the quality of the food you cannot even compare. So it's like sometimes we think that booking a chef is just for the 1% of the world, but I can bet we have had single people booking a chef post and telling us, I don't want to tell you how much we're spending on Uber Eats compared to what now I'm spending on Chef Post, because it's embarrassing to tell you how much I'm spending on takeout. So it's just, again, a limiting belief that we have, that sometimes we think that we cannot delegate the cooking because it's too expensive or whatnot. So there is a lot of return on investment, as you were asking, in terms of time, peace of mind. That is a lot, because I am sure if we could measure the stress, I think it's reduced substantially. And then the money, because it does, at the end, if you add the bills of eating out, I'm sure it's going to be interesting.
Oh, easily for the three of us, and we have a 2-year-old. I'm being so honest, like we're at like $50-$60 every time just for one meal to get dropped off to the house. You know what I mean?
Imagine.
I imagine a family, 4 or 5. I'm like, ooh.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, that is so good to know.
You see, you never know. And the same for events. Before Chef Post, again, because I was hosting for my birthdays, I would say I'm going to invite some friends for dinner on a restaurant. And it was before COVID, before the prices went insane. And I compared that to when I book a chef here in my house and for a birthday party, and I would say it's half the price of what you would spend on a restaurant. So again, it's like people think that because, of course, chefs were used to work just for the 1% of the world, the billionaires, etc. You think that it's not accessible, but it's way more accessible than you would think.
I love it. I think that's good to know, because if I'm going to be honest, I probably would have thought that.
Yes, of course.
Like, I can't access that. That's not for me or my lifestyle, but it is accessible. And I love that.
Yes.
I love it. I love it. So I want to kind of dive into like the business side of your business, but it's more of the promoting and just sort of kind of how do you kind of find your biggest spread when it comes to the growth of your business? And obviously you're a businesswoman, so I know you've probably seen it all, but are you more like into, or what works for you? Because I know a lot of business owners do listen to our podcast, and a lot of them are moms too. So that's why I definitely want to ask you, is it the referrals? Is it like social media? Do you work with a PR agency? Is it like partnerships, influencers? Like, how does Chef Post grow when you do the business side of it?
Very good question. So we have tried it all, and I think the best for us, Chef Post, besides being like a platform where people can book on demand these services or the chefs, is becoming like a brand. So when you create a brand, it's very important, from my point of view, to build very good relationships. And for that is with the customers, with your suppliers, with your partners, and with influencers. For us has been very key to put that kind of, I don't like to say influencers, but people of influence in your target demographic. So number one, know super, super well your customer. I think that it is the number one take, is to know very, very well your customer, so you can know where is your customer. Is your customer on social media? Is it on LinkedIn? Is on Instagram? Is in community, in events, etc. And once you kind of know that, in our case, our customer mainly is on Instagram. I think that for that case, influencers do work well, but not any influencer. Is the influencer that represents that customer, that is very organic, that, so not every influencer is for every business. So I know so many businesses and founders come to me and say like, oh my God, I don't know, like influencers do not work for me, etc. The thing is that you have to build relationships with these people, and the same with partners. So I am kind of the person who builds these relationships. We don't have a PR, and we didn't want to have that, because we wanted to build that relationship with either the influencer or the partner, other businesses, or brand ambassadors. That is just, for example, as we are expanding across the US, we are partnering with local brand ambassadors that love the business and want to be part of Chef Post because they believe on this, and they are not necessarily influencers. They are just a busy mom that really connects with the solution and say, I can help you spread the word. So again, it's building relationships in online and offline. So I think that for us, and I always say that in every social media, relationships first, transactions second. Build relationships. That is something that money cannot buy. Yes. That's the truth. So that is a skill that is very important to know, to be genuine. Sometimes it's not a good match. Sometimes you talk to someone and you say like, I think there's no chemistry here. It's okay. It's totally fine. Not every business or not every person is for you, but I think that is key. Those for us, so that relationships in general, partnerships, influencers, other businesses, communities is huge for us.
I love it. And that was so transparent too. And I definitely feel like I agree, just from experience or from like even hearing it from both sides of the influencer side and then also the brand side. Like sometimes like an influencer who has like whatever, 1 million followers, it's beautiful. And that means they have a very large reach. But you're right. If it doesn't pertain right to their audience or like what they're about, then they might not do the best job. Right. Or it might not reach who you're trying to reach. Exactly what you said. And that's okay. That doesn't mean the influencer's like they're not bad. It's just not reaching who it's supposed to reach. You know?
And one more thing that I'm going to tell you that happened to us. I mean, I'm telling you from my honest experience, and I would advise this to any business owner. It's like, I know sometimes we want to delegate many things, and it depends on the stage you are in your business. But no one knows the customer better than you, especially at the beginning. Of course, it gets to a point that you have to have other people to manage those relationships. But especially at the beginning, I think no one knows the customer better than you. So you are probably the best matchmaker to know what is the best influencer or the best partner for your business. When we started, I remember we hired a very important PR agency and they were awesome, amazing, but they were matching us with influencers that had nothing to do with our customer. So like, my customer is for sure is not following this person. And yes, of course, that's honest. So you see, and you have to kind of get an eye on spotting who is a potential good either influencer or partner or brand ambassador. And that goes with practice, to be honest. You start learning, okay, these things brings customers, they don't bring customers. And then you kind of start seeing. And as you grow, in our case, that we are more like now becoming this more recognizable, very small still, but like then influencers will come to you. And then you're going to see, okay, I can partner, just start building the relationship, be genuine, and now I'm very good friends with many influencers. But you see, is because you are building a relationship. And sometimes I'm friends with influencers that have never done anything with Chef Post, but we build relationships. So relationships are everything in life, business and in personal life also.
I don't disagree with that. That is so true. One more question before we move on, but regarding maybe the influencer, right, or the brand ambassadors, how do you protect yourself on your end from the brand perspective? How do you do that as a business owner? Do you have contracts in place with influencers? Because I know a lot of people, they'll do that exchange, right? You get a service or whatever, a fee, whatever it is. But I know a lot of people listening who have done this sometimes get burned because I'll see them, unfortunately, like, you know, on Instagram, they'll be like, hey, you know, like salon owners, for example. I have a girl who does hair, not my hair girl, but she's one of my Mommy Collective girls. And she was talking about how like she feels like they're not doing what they promised. So again, I don't know if she implemented any contracts and I'm wondering if you do, but they're not delivering what they said they would. And she's doing like $300, $400 services, you know, on their hair, but not getting the return of the ask. And again, I don't know what she's doing to protect her business in that way, but how does Diana do that? Like, how do you do that for you?
I've heard those stories. Thankfully, it hasn't happened with
good.
us. So we do have a contract in place just to have clear terms. I mean, again, remember, I build relationships with these influencers and we get along and there is a relationship, but we cannot just trust the relationship just because we get along. We're going to there has to be everything in writing, the terms of what is expected. And it's just a contract saying this is going to be the deliverables, this is what we expect. Because again, sometimes it's not even the influencers. You just cannot do a service and expect something that you don't know or were clear about in return. The terms of what you are expecting should be very clear. Like, I expect these are the deliverables in exchange of that, or I am paying this if you are paying, or if you are doing in exchange of services, these are the services. Because in the future, you don't want also, the influencer also needs to be covered in the sense that then you're not gonna send them a bill and charge them, okay, very nice your post, but here is the bill. So I always say to everyone, is a protection for both of you, for both the brand and the influencer or the content creator, just to know what is expected. And when everything is clear, there should not be any issue. But yes, in writing, always everything in writing.
You heard it, guys. Diana said in writing. So don't go around. Do exactly what she's saying, because she knows a thing or two. Exactly. Even you've had the testimony. It hasn't happened to you because you probably, again, have the relationship with these influencers that are helping with or doing that part for your brand and your company. But like, you have it in place. You have it in writing, which is very important.
Everything, the same with the brand ambassadors that I'm telling you. They don't have much followings, but they are people of influence in certain communities, and they become these brand ambassadors. Again, they need to know what they are expecting, what is the payment, what is the referral, what is the commission, etc. for them too. It's for both sides, protection for both sides.
100% agree. I love it. All right. So before we wrap up, I definitely would love to ask a question in terms of your hard moments, right, with your business. And was there a moment that made you almost quit? And if so, what kept you going? If there was a moment. I know it's like a tough one to think of, right? Because I'm sure every day you're like, I'm over this. But what moment really made you go like, I don't know?
I have to be honest, I'm so wholehearted believer on this business that I have never had that for a second, a doubt. However, that doesn't mean that I haven't had very hard times, that were crying times. And I would say overwhelmed. Sometimes you are overwhelmed because you do so many things and maybe for some reason it doesn't work out the way you expected. And it's like, oh my, it's frustrating many times as a business owner. And I would say, and even for the kids, it's very good for them to see when you are vulnerable and that you are crying, and to explain why are you crying. It has happened to me. They see me as like, I needed some time, and today was very stressful. This happened to me. I'm frustrated, but I'm going to get over this. But I just need to vent and see how this goes. And I have received letters from the kids. Oh, everything is going to be fine. Like, you see, so we are all humans. It happens. Now, it doesn't happen very often. I'm going to tell you, I always say this is the foundation of everything is both spirituality and mindset. And this is for everything in life, to be honest. I'm not a guru or anything. I'm not very religious, but I have a huge faith. And I always say God is my co-founder. And I also do feed my brain with a lot of mindset, like really all the time, because it's a hard job as a mom and a business owner, and even a working mom. Even if you work for someone, I think that is so important to invest in your spirituality and mindset. So it's gonna give you the tools to be prepared for the tough times, because unfortunately that's life. We cannot have, everything is beautiful, but sometimes you have your challenges. And when you are equipped, I always say mindset and spirituality is like the workout. It's your mind workout and your soul workout. You train. Every day is part of your routine, and that helps you get stronger. So your mind, your soul is stronger. The body with the physical workout gets stronger. And that, I think, is it. I don't imagine myself doing this without that. I mean, I cannot even know how I could do it. So 100%. I think that this is key. And yes, that's everything.
100%. No, I completely agree with you. I completely agree. Diana, thank you for being here with us today. You were so fun to talk to. Before we go, and before we follow you on social and Chef Post, what are future plans for Chef Post? You and I were talking offline about expanding to other cities. What does that look like?
Oh my God, this is so exciting. Yes, thank you. So,
Of course.
we are based in Miami, Florida, but we are expanding across the US this year. So, aggressively expanding. So, we are now serving many different cities. We are now in Dallas, Austin, New York, New Jersey, Connecticut, soon Chicago, soon LA,
Yes.
Washington. So, please stay tuned. Join the waiting list because I know many people see us and they want to have this service. They want to have a chef post chef in their home to help them. So soon we'll be in your home. So join the waiting list that we have on our Instagram. And as soon as we have chefs vetted, available, trained by us, that we trust them in your home, then we'll let you know so you can enjoy life as you deserve. Especially
Oh,
moms. I always say, like, everyone deserves this, but moms, I'm telling you, we are a different species.
100%. Oh, that's no lie told on that one. I love it. That is so true. Diana, thank you so much for being here with us. We appreciate you. Where can we follow you and Chef Post on Instagram, any social media, any website? Where can we go for that?
Thank you. So we are chefpost.com. That's where you can see everything. But then on social, we are at chefpost, at chefpost, as a post of a chef. And then my personal Instagram, where I like to share things, especially for moms. I'm very connected with that side, is at Diana Arango. And that's it.
Perfect. Diana, thank you so much for being here with us today. We appreciate you.
Thank you. You are the best. Thank you for having me.